everyone, Paul here. Today I'm going to give you my review on the Flight Attendant Season 1, Episode 1. Now, I won't be able to put the reaction on YouTube for obvious reasons. I think it's an HBO show, so those will get, flagged and everything. That because it's an HBO, I can't put that on YouTube. But I did film a reaction for it, so if you guys want to head over to my Patreon, you'll have access to it, but I just can't put it on YouTube. I'm going to talk a little bit about my first watch with it, and I'm also going to show you the clips of before and after of my original reaction to it, so you get my thoughts at least. But the actual reaction, you guys, it's available on my Patreon. I can't put it on YouTube. I heard about this very quickly, and I heard that Kaylee Kuko, did I say your last name? Kuko? And after Big Bang ended, I wanted to kind of see what else that she can do, because she did Big Bang for a while. So I was interested in seeing what the story and how it would be different from her character on Big Bang. But a lot of people make a joke that the flight attendant and Big Bang are kind of related, that it's just Penny in another role. I thought that was kind of funny when I saw that comment. But anyway, the actual first episode, and to the date of this video, I've only recorded the first one, but I'm definitely planning on going over the rest of the season. And like I said, I can't put it on YouTube, but if you want to check it out, it'll be on my Patreon. But the story starts off, you got Kaylee's character, and she just has a one-night stand with a guy, and then he ends up dead. And my whole reaction, it's like, well, what'd you do with the body? What'd you do with the body? And then it's pretty much, I'm not going to go on too long about it, but basically what I think, it's a setup, I think, and I think that it's probably somebody that she works with, or because obviously it has to be somebody that knows her, and it's somebody that knows her, I think, and that's going to be the plot twist. But somehow this show has been renewed for another season, so I kind of have I don't really understand how it could have a second season, but I'll have to wait till I actually finish season 1. But she's basically being framed for murder, but we're tend to believe that she actually did it, and we're probably led to believe that she was the one actually doing it. But she keeps having blackouts and talking to the deceased. But I think that's kind of, he's in her like subconscious, and he's going to kind of help her figure out what happened. So anyway, that if you guys want to watch the actual reaction, go to my Patreon. Other than that, I will be including my pre-thoughts before going into this, which is basically everything I said, and then my afterthoughts, which is basically everything I thought about right after watching it. So definitely check that out. Stay tuned for the rest. I will be watching the rest of it, and it will be available on my Patreon. So if you guys want to watch it, go to my Patreon. It will be available when it comes available. Other than that, stay tuned for more reactions and reviews. Hello everyone, Paul here. Today I'm going to be looking at a new show, and this one is called The Flight Attendant. I may have to make this one a Patreon exclusive, because there's just a lot of shows out there, and I want to make sure there's a mix for YouTube and for some exclusive stuff for my Patreon. And this is probably going to be a Patreon exclusive, which means if you're a member, you'll see this reaction. If you're not on my Patreon, you won't see it. But there are some shows out there that I really can't react and put on YouTube, because it's a certain show, it'll probably have a very, very hard time getting on. That's why I'm probably selecting this one as a Patreon exclusive. But today, like I said, I'm going to be doing The Flight Attendant, which has Kaylee Kuko, I think that's how you say her name. She was in the Big Bang Theory. I don't really know much about the show, other I'd seen the trailer, and I think this season has about it's maybe I think 10 or 13 episodes, something like that. I don't know if it's going to get renewed for another season, but if I like this pilot, I'm definitely going to be going into all the other episodes of this season. Other than that, from what I've seen in the trailer, it's about a flight attendant that hooks up with a guy and he ends up dead or something like that. I don't know if it's based on a book or anything, but I do know that it might get a season 2, so I just don't know what they can do with the storyline after one season, unless it's like, well, I don't know till I actually watch it, but I'll save my other thoughts until I'm done watching the first one. So let's just get started and watch the first episode of The Flight Attendant. Okay, so that's a interesting first episode. So a couple things I noticed right away is right now, just by watching the first episode, I don't see how they can make this into like a series, even though I think season 2 it might be planned. I don't know. Depends if it'll be back. But from where we stand in season 1, I don't understand how this can actually turn into a series later on, because it can pretty much be resolved with what's going on right now with as many episodes as it is this season. But basically, she wakes up to a dead body, Cassidy, and she wakes up to a dead body, and it's obviously it wasn't her that did it, but we as an audience are trying to think it was her. It was obviously somebody, and it's probably the big twist is it's somebody she knows that's in her life that's connected that did it. And obviously the flashbacks or the blackouts that she's getting is going to help her kind of like puzzle it together and figure out who did it. So there's a little flashback she has of the dead body. The body. He's actually going to be there as a guide to kind of show her. I don't know why he can. If it was somebody else, I don't know why if he can just say who it was. I mean, or why he can't just say, "Hey, it was that person over there." I don't understand why he can't do that, but basically, what's probably going to happen in the next couple episodes is his ghost or whatever, the blackouts, are going to help her kind of figure out who did it, and it goes from there. So I think the actual person that did it is going to be kind of like the big reveal at the end, kind of like, like a slasher flick when you find out who the main killer is. It's going to probably be somebody we least expect. But what I can probably predict, I think it might be somebody from her flight crew, is what I'm guessing, that's connected to him. It's just what I'm guessing so far. So anyway, I really enjoyed the first episode here. I can't wait to see kind of who it is and how it all resolves itself. So stay tuned for more of these reactions. And if you guys want to check out all of my other reactions on my Patreon. And other than that, I'll see you guys in more reactions and reviews.